All right, welcome to session 3 of our journey through First Peter. I think we're really doing it. Yeah. All right, very good. So we're back again to try to help you guys as you prepare this week for leading this session. The title of session 3 is Our Identity. It comes from 1 Peter 2, 1 through 10. And the key theme that you're going to see in the lesson this week is this: because of the new life Christ gives, believers are God's own people who proclaim his praises. So again, as we'll discuss a lot through this series, the audience to whom Peter addressed, they really were at a crossroad. They had Jews who were trying to pull them back to the law, and they had Gentiles, those outside of the church as well, that were trying to pull them away from their allegiance to Christ. So they're torn, and that, as we'll talk about almost every session, that's our reality. So I think that's why these lessons are going to be very easily discussed and applied to our lives, because we're in that tension always of which way we're going to go. So let's talk about just a kickoff question. You guys will get a chance to talk about it in your discussion. Let's talk about a blessing that comes with a responsibility. So what comes to mind just in your everyday life, something that, hey, it's a blessing, but yeah, there's responsibility that comes with it. So
yeah, the first thing I think about is a swimming pool.
All right.
Back during COVID, everybody was getting swimming pools.
Yep.
And everybody was talking about how awesome it is to have a pool. And so we took the dive, no pun intended. We took the leap, and we put in a pool, and you know, the pool is great. We have fun, we have community, we have good times with family, with friends. But we also have a lot of responsibility.
That's a lot of work.
Cleaning the pool,
Yep.
maintaining the water, maintaining the salt, maintaining in the winter times, making sure things don't freeze up, keeping leaves out of it, vacuuming it, washing the walls. They don't sell you on that when you go to buy the pool.
That's not in the brochure.
It's not in the brochure. It's not in the video.
Yep.
But it's a lot of responsibility. There are rewards to the responsibility, but it's a lot of work.
Yep. And you can see the connection very easily to our spiritual lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's all blessing of the promise of forgiveness, right standing with God, our eternal home, but it does also come with responsibility. And you're going to see that as we walk through this lesson this week, that call to live out our faith, to be disciplined in our walk. And so there's going to be a contrast that you can choose to talk about. I thought it was really good in the material. What are those hindrances and what are those encouragements? And in the text, you see the hindrance there: malice, deceit, hypocrisy, and you could really go well beyond that. But then what are those encouragements? That longing for the pure spiritual milk. And so that's what you're doing in your life group. You're committing yourselves to being in the Word. That's going to encourage your growth. So that responsibility that comes with that expectation there, that grows. So I got a blessing, I got responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that sets up a great conversation. I'll let you look at a few of the key texts and you share that and just give some insights for our folks.
So two identities that we highlight in this passage and in this lesson. One of them is that one of our identities is that we're representative of God in the world. As believers, we represent God in the world in which we live. 1 Peter verse 5 of chapter 2 says, "You yourselves, like living stones, are being built up as a spiritual house, to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ." When we see that we're representatives of God, when we see that lived out in Scripture, that gives us clarity about who we are and what we are to be about. And secondly, not only do we see that we're representatives of God in the world, but we also see that we also are God's people. And that's something I think we might lose sight of at times, that we belong to God. And we are the people of God together, collectively. And Peter touches on that in verses 9 and 10 of chapter 2 when he says, "But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy."
So you see that just back and forth. Just
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we see the fact that God has called us out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Yeah.
Walk in the light as he is in the light. He's called us to that. Why has he done that? because we get to proclaim that the excellencies of Him who called us are worthy.
Mhm.
And it's worthy of someone to make that proclamation and to have that identity. And so what I hope is that you will pray for your community, for your life group community, that they and you will be able to fulfill that each and every week as a result of looking at this lesson this week.
Very good. Well, we're praying for you guys as you dive into the material. I know there's a lot of relevant content here that's going to challenge us. What's our identity? If we get that right, it's going to flow into every aspect of our lives. So Thank you, Jason, for helping out. Looking forward to hearing great things of how God uses this time together.